Hello, everybody. You're welcome. Unlike the episode of A to Z of domestic abuse, I'm taking over her podcast today, and it's Ike, and I'm with the owner of the podcast, the A to Z of domestic abuse. I'd like you to introduce yourself, please.
I am Dorian Riley. Welcome back to my channel. So we're going to have an awesome interview today. Can't wait to hear it.
Yes. So Dorian Riley, you are you're an author.
Yeah.
You are you're a poetry uh, writer, right?
Yes.
And you're a speaker,
Yeah.
and you are also a businesswoman, an entrepreneurial. Tell us about that.
Which part?
All of this facets of you. It's kind of
Um,
loaded, isn't it?
it is.
Yeah. So just
Start wherever I want.
wherever you want.
Okay. So poetry has always been my first love. So I love just talking about like different stories and different experiences that I have had, and I write about those things. So it's like an outlet for me. And also a motivational speaker. So I like to just speak life into people and speak life into their situations, so you can feel better about things that have happened in your life.
How about the part of the business?
The business part, yes, I am an entrepreneur. So I love like making people or allowing people to have fun. So I have a business called the 360 Party Zone, which I thought of because I wanted to find something that kind of brings joy to people. And I like being my own boss. So
Yes.
that's one of the reasons behind that. So I have been doing that for maybe about a year. So there's a lot more that's coming down the pipeline. So a lot of different ideas that I have for the business. So it has been going well. So it's growing more and more every day.
Okay. As far as speaking goes, um, I know you have a book.
I do.
Okay. Tell us about your book.
So it is Climbing Life's Mountains. So it's available on all book like outlets. Everywhere you can get the book from, you can get them online. And also, like in Galesburg, Illinois, we have them in some of the local stores, the Carl Sandburg College Library, and also at the Wordsmith Bookshop. And also, you can get them online. So it is a collection of poetry. So it has a lot to do like with my domestic violence journey and other just experiences that I know of and have heard of other people having. So it's a very powerful book. So it unpacks a lot of the different situations that I've been in and situations that other people have been in. So definitely that's something you want to read. It definitely has a lot of motivation in there, pretty much, and it helps you to put like a mirror up to your own situation. It helps you to see situations for what they really are, which is one of the things that I want to do.
Oh wow, that is good. A lot of people will write a biopic, but you took all of that and put it in poetry. What informed that decision? Why poetry? Why not a biopic? Like most of the books you would see are like people telling their experiences. I have, for the record, guys, I have read the book, and if you haven't, you do need to get the book. I know y'all can see my face, and that was intentional, but y'all need to get the book. It's a very good read. If you haven't read the book, you need to get it. If that book is not part of your everyday reading routine or your book club, well, I need to start a new book club because that needs to be there. So, why not a biopic? Like, why poetry? Why put all of that in poetry?
I think with poetry, it's different for me because that's like that was always like an outlet for me, especially when I was going through some of those domestic violence situations. It's hard to put some of those things into words because with just regular writing, you have to like have the punctuation, you have to have the sentence structure a certain way. But with poetry, you don't. I mean, so whatever thought you come up with, I mean, that's what you write. And I really feel like my poetry is inspired by the Holy Spirit. So it gives me kind of like my marching orders, or my sentence structure, different things like that, so I can impact, the world and impact myself as much as possible. So poetry has always been something that has been near and dear to my heart, which is why I continue to write poetry. So I have like notebooks all around the house that I have different poems in. And so this book, this collection of poetry was something that I wanted to write first and kind of get that into people's hands, to get the ball rolling on me being an author. And there are definitely more books to come. So I'm working on a novel now, so soon to come.
That is amazing. Like, a lot of times people don't understand like, they might have a book, but they don't know the logic behind the author. So that's why I'm asking this question, so people can understand the logic behind, right, putting these things in poetry. Because it's unusual, and like I said, your book is so powerful. Like,
Thank you.
each line makes so much sense, and it's like a mirror to a person. So whatever y'all going through, read the book, get the book.
I actually have it.
Oh, you have the book? Oh.
I do. So I carry it around with me sometimes. So as you can see,
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the book. That's the Climbing Life's Mountains, a book of poetry by Dorian D. Riley. You have to get the book. You have to get this book, because this book is like a mirror, and that mirror you can hold up to yourself. Whatever you're going through, that's the solution right there. So let me deviate a little bit. In today's society, like, you have this web series on YouTube. I mean, we're on your channel right now, basically. So where you talk about domestic abuse, but I'm not gonna speak about that with you, not at this early stages anyways. I want to ask you a little bit more deeper. Has humanity lost its touch?
I think it has, only in a sense to where I can see that so many people have lost their compassion, or they never had it. And compassion is not something you can teach someone. Either they have it or they don't. And the even, I guess, sadder part is that people don't care that they're not compassionate. Some people just care about, what's going on in their life, in their household, and they can care less about other people and what's going on with other people. So definitely I'm seeing that more and more in humanity. Not to say that everyone is that way, because I would be lying if I said that. There are some really good people still in the world. However, it's overshadowed with all the people that are not so good, the uncaring people, the ones that step on other people to get ahead, the ones that feel they are better than other people, which is just insanity, because no one is better than anyone else. So it's just insane that people still think that way. So the world has definitely lost its humanity for the most part.
How do we bring it back? Let me rephrase. How do we make a conscious decision to give the world humanity? I mean, the people of the world, it's humanity back, especially in today's society. And I'm asking because you strike me as a woman filled with wealth of knowledge, and you're well read. You're an author, you're a businesswoman, and you're very successful in your chosen professional career. And you also are you're in the world of podcast. And in your wealth of experience, in your vision, tell me how do we give today's society that part of humanity back?
I think one of the ways, that's a loaded question.
Yeah, I mean, you can take it. You can answer it however you want. You are the CEO of this channel. This is your channel, so you
I want to
can't
give
say
the best answer. I want to give the one that can definitely people can relate to.
Yeah, I was going to tell you to break it down for the audience. So yes.
So I think the main thing is we have to start with ourselves. I mean, it's really hard to give somebody something that you don't have.
In what way?
By just being kind to people.
Okay.
You have to be kind to people. You have to be understanding about their situation. You may not agree with their situation, so I'm not saying that. Just agree with things that you don't agree with. However, you have to be able to relate to people and just be understanding of their situations and not make them feel even worse than they already feel. So I think that's something that people don't realize. It's something they just don't think about. They figure if somebody is in a bad position, then it's their job to like make them feel worse about it, as if they don't already feel bad enough. And I think kindness like that, I think it's contagious. So if enough people see you being that way in the your little circle of the world, I mean, you can't speak to everyone else that's outside of your circle. However, the people that you impact, you can do that to them. You can be kind to them as opposed to being angry with them. You can be relatable to them, as opposed to ostracizing them, because that is a choice. You can choose to be compassionate, or you can choose not to be compassionate. That's a choice. So if we're choosing kindness over toxicity and things like that, if we're choosing kindness every time, intentionally, because you have to be intentional with that. If kindness does not come naturally to you, you have to choose to do that. You have to intentionally think about how you're going to respond to something, so you're not responding in a place of anger, and things like that. I think it's just contagious around the world, but we have to start somewhere. And it could start with me, it could start with you, because everybody has a responsibility in this great beautiful world to make it better.
You said toxicity. How have you experienced that small phrase you just said right there, toxic? So like it's gonna be a little segue, because I'm excited. I'm gonna ask you everything under the logical boundaries. So toxic. Over the years, I've heard in today's world, male toxicity, female toxicity. And we're talking about humanity. Do you think it all correlates
Male and females toxicity
with what we're talking about? Like, with as far as humanity goes, like, do you think that it correlates to why the world is life can be the way it is, or today's society it's the way it is? Like, do you think there's a correlation between those two, or are those separate things, like male and female toxicity and humanity?
I think it all correlates, because male and females, I mean, that's what the world is made up of. So these are just people, and they're male and female. Each one could be toxic. But I think what it is, since humanity is losing its compassion, it's gonna result in more toxicity around the world, with everyone. And so, because people, when you do not care about other people, you don't think about how you treat other people. So that's what toxicity is. Like, that's the main thing that is, treating people inhumanely, treating them like they're not people. So some people, you can just do something simple as to strike up a conversation with them. And it could be, for all intents and purposes, a person that everyone else sees as a nobody. Who even gives us a definition of who a nobody is? That's something that society has taught us. This person is a nobody because they don't have this. This person is a nobody because they may not be in this socioeconomic background. So that's something that the world has taught us. And that's something that you don't have to accept. So I think more people are probably accepting those things, which is in turn making the world more toxic as a whole, because you have all these bad behaviors, bad intentions, and bad interactions. Poor interactions and poor communication is going to lead to toxicity, which is why we see so much anger and resentment and jealousy and all these other things in the world that was not here in the beginning. It's a reason it's that way. So yes, it is the people, because everybody has a decision they have to make. You either going to add to it, or you're going to be the change that the world needs. it's up to you. You know, you could either join in or be on a different boat, you know, making different decisions, you know, because just because the world thinks that this so-called person is a nobody, I mean, do you agree with that? You know, how are you treating people differently, you know, in a good way, not in a bad way? And if you are one of the ones that think that way, that is people that's beneath you, you know, why do you think that way? You know, it's something with your attitude, you know, that need to be changed. You know, nobody can do that for you. So that's why I say everybody have a decision they have to make.